Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button for more content. Are superhero movies always a guarantee of success, or can they sometimes fall flat? Um, with the massive popularity of the MCU, DCU, and other franchises, it's easy to assume that any superhero movie will be a hit. However, some films have failed to live up to expectations, and in this list, we'll count down the top 10 superhero movies that should have been way better than they were. And at number 10, we have Ghost Rider, directed by Mark Steven Johnson. Nicolas Cage starred as Johnny Blaze, a stunt motorcyclist who becomes a supernatural anti-hero. And despite its exciting premise, the movie was marred by poor visual effects and a lackluster script. The Cage's performance was also underwhelming, and the movie failed to live up to its potential. Coming in at number 9 is X-Men Origins, Wolverine, and directed by Gavin Hood. And this prequel to the original X-Men trilogy starred Hugh Jackman as the iconic character, but the movie was criticized for its handling of other Marvel characters. Despite its star-studded cast, the movie failed to find any genuine popularity and is now considered one of the worst entries in the franchise. At number 8, we have The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, directed by Stephen Norrington. This movie brought together some of literature's most iconic characters, including Nina Harker, Alan Quatermain, and Captain Nemo in a Victorian-era adventure. However, the movie was criticized for its poor script and multiple plot holes, and it failed to live up to the expectations of fans. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 takes the number 7 spot, directed by Mark Webb. This sequel to the 2012 reboot starred Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, but the movie was criticized for its excessive emphasis on establishing future sequels and its poor dialogue. Despite its promise, the movie failed to match its build-up and was ultimately abandoned. At number 6, we have Jonah Hex 2010, directed by Jimmy Hayward. This Western superhero movie starred Josh Brolin as the titular character, a bounty hunter with a scarred face. Despite its interesting premise and impressive cast, the movie was a disaster with a short runtime and incoherent plot. Even with its potential, Jonah Hex failed to deliver. And so coming in at number 5 is Hellboy, directed by Neil Marshall. This reboot of the 2004 movie starred David Harbour as the iconic character, but the movie was criticized for its dull script and disappointing visual effects. Despite its promise, the movie failed to live up to its predecessors and was a monumental disappointment. At number 4, we have Catwoman, directed by Pitov. This movie starred Halle Berry as the titular character, a cat burglar with a penchant for justice. Despite its interesting premise and Berry's star power, the movie was a disaster with a poor script and generic story. Catwoman went down in history as one of the worst superhero movies ever made. Um, the Green Lantern 2011 takes the number 3 spot, directed by Martin Campbell. And this movie starred Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan, a test pilot who becomes a Green Lantern uh, despite its promise and Reynolds' star power. Uh, the movie was criticized for its excessive use of mediocre CGI and its poor execution. Green Lantern became a notorious example of a superhero movie that failed to deliver. At number 2, we have Daredevil 2003, directed by Mark Steven Johnson. This movie starred Ben Affleck as the titular character, a blind lawyer with a penchant for justice. Despite its promise and Affleck's star power, the movie was criticized for its poor dialogue and predictable plot. Daredevil earned the status as another superhero movie that was nowhere near as good as it should have been. And finally, at number 1, we have Justice League, directed by Zack Snyder. This movie brought together some of DC's most iconic superheroes, including Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman in a team-up movie. However, the movie was criticized for its poor execution, with a mix of Snyder and Joss Whedon's styles, making the movie seem unbalanced and inconsistent. Justice League became perhaps the worst example of a superhero movie that failed to deliver on its potential. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.